Alright, this is going to be our engine bay portion. First thing I did notice, we have a new battery that's been replaced. I did talk about that on our code scans as well. This year is pretty common to like blow through the batteries if they're not driven all the time. With this amount of mileage, this car probably did sit a lot of its life as well. There are signs like on the hose here and just like on the air box underneath here and along the sides here. This car did live in a pretty dirty climate. They got it really clean, but I mean, there's stuff you just can't hide. You know, a lot of like saturated, mucky dirt in here, but they cleaned it really well. I just worry about like some of the other areas that can't be cleaned too well underneath as well. This might need like a really good undercarriage cleaning. I didn't see any signs of that, but there's a lot of plastic and shields that cover stuff, but dust still gets in there. Electronic assist power steering, so no fluid there. Brake fluid looks amazing, nice gold color. Oil was changed, they're just part of the recon, and the belt has been replaced. Coming over here, air filter was replaced as well. Always look down on your crash rail here. You're gonna just tell like nothing's been messed with. Like I said, they just cleaned everything really well. Just like to look at this kind of stuff, make sure it's not like bent or re-welded or anything's been messed with. It's usually a sign the car might have been wrecked at some point if all this stuff's been changed. But if those pinch welds and stuff are all still the same, it's a good sign. Some more signs of like that dirt buildup down in there. But just something to keep in mind. Like they did a really good job cleaning this, but there is some, it was in a really filthy climate, or it just wasn't washed very often. We're gonna keep moving forward here. All right, we're gonna do a quick recap on the exterior here. Nice burgundy in color. It's like a deep red or a crimson, I would say. In really good shape. You'll see a few marks, like little scuffs on the plastics here and there. No sunroof. Top doesn't look like it's been drug on or anything like that. These crossbars fold and then connect to the other side so that you don't have to have them up all the time and don't have to listen to the wind. I did find back here, so these little scuff marks on the bumper, there is little indentations there too. So it's almost like a license plate or maybe shipping, not sure. Lights and everything in really good shape. Wheels also look good, but you'll see like light scuffing from scratches. Nothing severe. You can probably get a guy to buff it. Some little door dings here, but nothing crazy on this thing. It looks really good. Shines well in the sun. Got a little bit of like smudges. It didn't really like affect the paint, but it definitely left marks from like rock chips and stuff. So good shape. Just, you know, couple dings and dents. Nothing major though. Nothing dramatic. Alright, so this is gonna just check underneath. I always start from the front and kind of just go front to back so you can kind of see if anything's hanging, dangling, or sagging. Looks good, everything nice tight. This still has the belly pan. Belly pan's nice and dry. We don't see any oil saturation, so that's really good. We're gonna go to each lift point on the corners now. Alright, so we're at the driver front corner. This is gonna be your front lift point. It does have a little bit of tomfoolery. It looks like they just didn't get it lifted perfectly on that one. It's not like bad or anything, it's just a little bent and scuffed up there. Cross lets your transmission and your subframe all looks really good. And then dry over here, really good. Body looks really good underneath. And then your rear lift point here. And then exhaust. Has a lot of like plastic under trays just to kind of keep everything insulated and secure, but really good shape. We're gonna go from the rear. All right, so factory muffler, exhaust, rear end, all in good shape. It's good. Your struts are nice and dry. That's good. Exhaust is in pretty good shape. That surface rust is normal on stuff that gets really hot and cold. There's your floor or frame pan. Looks really good as well. No damage there. Moving to the lift point. Alright, so this is your passenger rear lift. Skid plate here. All in really good shape. And then it still has all the plastics here. Really good shape. front lift point. Looks good. That's your transmission pan, not oil pan. Looks good, nice dry. All looks great. Alright, so this is going to be the interior on our 2019 Subaru. So this is going to be, the steering wheel has pretty much every option you can have on here. So phone controls here, radio volume, and then your information, so it'll change like stuff here on the screen. Cruise control with adaptive and lane keep. Little paddle shifters on the back, down, up. Has auto lights and fog lights. And then we're currently at 30,093 miles at the time of this drive. Everything checked out great. I do have my seatbelt off and all the doors open, so that's why those lights are on. Parking brakes on for the test. Screen here, you don't have navigation on this one, but it's got pretty much everything else you're gonna need. Once you plug into these, I believe they'll like connect with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, depends on which one you have. Heated seats, they work really well. Heat and mode all switch through everything as they're supposed to. AC comes on and defrost. This does still have a CD player as well. It's starting to be something that's more lost on newer cars. You do have your cameras up here for your safety sense and all that. This doesn't have a sunroof. I'm gonna pause here and open up all the doors, and we're just gonna go from the outside in. Alright, so at the driver door here, door cards are in really good shape. This trim's pretty nice, touring. It's got the wood trim and everything. Auto front windows, I did reset those. They were not reset and they were not working, but I got it to go. Memory seat, power on this side. This does go up and down. That side does not go up and down, but it is power as well. Your safety sense stuff, so you got forward collision. Sorry, my fingers would spoken. Forward collision, lane, so like it'll yell at you if you go over the line. Blind spot and traction control, all work as intended. Nice Subaru floor mats, all weather. They're popped in really nicely, and the carpet looks great underneath. Subarus, you do gotta pop. They started getting away from that, but you gotta pop these doors. They do lock, so if the car's locked, that door's locked. Seats are in really good shape. You do have heated seats in the back here with a little charging port there. They did warm up nice, at least to the touch. It's hard to like sit there long enough to get a really good feel on it. It's kind of chilly. I always like to pull on these, you know, make sure they're tight. Some more all-weather trays here. No sunroof. Headliner's in really good shape. There is one mark here. I believe it's just probably from tires being loaded in and out, possibly. We're gonna pause, go to the other side. Alright, so door cards on this side, also in really good shape. Seats as well. All looks really, really good. Like I said, power seats on this side as well. Little box dampered with the owner's manual and everything there. Nice dash. Everything button-wise does what it's told when you push it. So, looks really good. Alright, just for the sake of having some free hands while one's tied up, right? I have it lifted up for your trunk portion. So there's a floor here that you can hang on this nice little hook. It's pretty convenient. This is going to be like a foam, like a hard foam. Has your jack, straps, tow hook, or eyelet, however you like to say it. It's a recovery point. Underneath, full size, well, full height spare, but it's pretty much to not mess with the all-wheel drive system, but it won't be the same width. So it's just for temporary use, obviously. You can see there's some dirt down in here. It's kind of a theme. It looks like it's been cleaned really well, but there is signs that this was living in a pretty dirty climate. I always look down here, make sure we don't have any moisture down in the bottom of the tub, and the tub looks nice, form, fit. Just a good sign that it hasn't been like rear-ended or something crazy, right? Let that fall down. It's all nice and neat. This comes down and yeah. So nice carpet in really good shape, and then has the Outback all-weather mat. So really, really cool. Also has the seat back protectors, so if you fold stuff down and need to haul stuff, that's perfect. When you're back here, you pull these and it shoots those front seats down. This is equipped with a little sub thing. You can kind of feel here there's a little dent on there. but overall, I mean, it does what it's supposed to. That guard is supposed to just protect it, so I mean, it worked, but it has taken a little bit of damage. That's going to be your trunk portion. This is a powerlifting gate, so you just push that and it will close. No weird sounds, very smooth, and it sucks it in tight. Alright, so in this portion we're going through the computer, just doing a code scan. I always take this chance here to make sure this VIN matches the one on the car. You see here we have some faults, so it looks like there was history for some low tire pressure lights. They weren't on during the drive, pressures were all good. Infotainment here says it was a lost communication with like the satellite radio and everything, which all works. These are all history. Currently the telematics has an active code for the DCM module. It's called the data control module. Now Subaru on these year has a deal going on essentially where the data control module is connected to a 3G network that is no longer being used, so it's been shut down. The car will actually hunt for that signal until it doesn't have the power to do so. With that being active and the car having a brand new battery in it, it could be something this car's still dealing with. The dealerships at Subaru have a remedy for it. You can pay out of pocket to get a new updated module so the system still works if you really like to use it. But it's not actually necessary unless you're like using their app and stuff to start the car and a bunch of like extra app stuff. So if you just use your phone normally for like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, stuff like that, that should be okay on your phone. I don't believe you need the data control module for that. But yes, it is something that you need to make sure has been addressed or is getting addressed, with that being a current fault. Like I said, it will kill the battery on these if it sits for like a week or so. We're going to move to the monitors. Alright, so this portion is going to be the monitors. These monitors are basically checking measurements as you drive to make sure it's all within parameters or settings specific to the car. The EVAP system is the only one that didn't come back. With this having a new battery, it could take at least like a 20-minute drive cycle for that. But everything else checks out good. We try to do like a 10-mile drive at high speeds and everything, just to make sure we get all these monitors to do their cycle, so it's good. Usually if you get these gray circles, it's probably either not supported. A lot of newer cars will tie it in with other systems just to make it less redundant. As you can see, lots of that stuff. But overall checks out good. The EVAP thing doesn't concern me. That's basically, it just checks your vapor from fuel as you drive, and then park. So cars sit on the lot for X amount of time. They could use a good drive cycle just to make sure, because of how much they sit, they don't really get a good ventilation. So that doesn't really concern me too much. Gonna move on. All right, we're gonna just do a quick conclusions here on this car. Overall, a really good looking vehicle, pretty low mileage, not a lot of maintenance at this point. Just make sure the differential fluid's been checked, and if it needs change, do it. Everything else looks like they did on the recon, pretty much went through. Car drives really, really good. Plenty of power for the non-turbo models. I like these because they're very linear, very smooth to get going. They just kind of pull through nicely with the CVTs on these. You don't really need to just punch it all the time. Great interior. It's that tan leather. There was the blemish on the headliner, but really good beyond that. You'll see some like, you know, scuffs and dings like from being in a parking lot. I did mention all that, but really good on the paint overall. Drives great, stops good. It has all the safety stuff that does what it should. Really low mileage. So the main thing I do want to stress is it had active information on the DCM. A few points I talked about it, but these are just data control modules that are on a 3G network that no longer exists through Subaru. So the car is hunting for that, and that can cause the battery to die if you don't drive it all the time. Since it's active and a new battery, it's just something I do recommend getting checked on this vehicle, just to make sure you don't end up stranded somewhere, or you go, you know, leave for a trip and come home to a car that's not able to start and get you where you need to go. But really good looking specimen here. That's going to be our conclusion.